What's going on, my YouTube family, and what's happening with my YouTube savages? I hope each and every single one of you guys had an absolutely bomb day so far. We're about to set it off for early evening out here in good old Canton, Ohio, guys. Savage does feel like I'm kind of coming down with a little bit of a cold, which is kind of to be expected. Every time the season changes, my immune system usually has to build itself up and adapt to it. It is what it is, guys, but there is a silver lining here. We did get some pretty fantastic news today, guys. But before we get up into that, quick disclaimer for the YouTube community guidelines. Nobody featured in this video or any of my videos is under the age of 21 and or holds their Ohio licensed medical marijuana card through the state of Ohio. There are no minors featured in any of my videos, guys, not now, not literally ever. And all the content that you guys do see on the channel is for educational purposes only. Now that we got that beat up and busted right on out the way, drop it in the comments what you guys are about to be burning on during the course of today's video. I absolutely always love seeing that. And drop it in the comments what you guys would like to see me do a review on next. If any of you savages enjoy this video, please hit it with a thumbs up. That helps the channel out more than you guys could possibly imagine, man. The more likes we get on these videos, you guessed it, the more that YouTube actually decides to circulate the content around to potential new viewers, new savages to join the Savage Army, guys. Never nothing wrong with that, am I right? And if any of you savages dislike this video, hit it with a thumbs down and drop it in the comments why you guys disliked it and what you would like to see me do better in the next video, guys. So, what I have twisted up here in this raw organic paper, I don't have any blacks right now, unfortunately, but it don't really matter. Raw is raw. I really like all of their papers, guys. You really kind of get nitpicky when you're differentiating, but the raw blacks are my all-time personal favorite. I actually like the blacks more than the raw ethereals. I've only tried them once, but I don't think they burned any better than the blacks. Actually, a couple doobies out of that pack of papers I felt like burned worse than the blacks. Like, it actually burned a little bit faster, which kind of threw me for a loop a little bit, guys, because they're actually thinner than the raw blacks. Not too sure if it made the bud taste any better or not, because the blacks are already so thin, you know what I'm saying? And the ethereals are very, like, difficult to twist. If you're not a seasoned roller, you might have a problem with those papers, like ripping them if you're too aggressive on the twist. Irregardless, savages, this is some Sherb cream cake that the homie Tyler gifted me a couple days ago from Michigan, guys. If you guys want to see more of Tyler and any upcoming content, drop that in the comments, man. One of my very long time friends, over a decade. What a guy, and I actually was in a pinch at the time that he gave me this stuff, guys, so it all worked out beautifully. And this is actually some shake from Michigan, guys, and me personally, I usually hate shake weed. I feel like it's mostly dry, harsh, not the greatest effects or flavor. But this stuff here actually kind of smells and tastes like just a regular nugget grinded down, savages. Purple on the look of the stuff, it don't look too bad, and the smell is actually kind of nice. It smells like a decent creamy ice cream cake with some extra funk on the back end. And we did get some pretty good news today, savages. So the job that I interviewed for yesterday morning, it's a warehouse position, and I mean, if you guys are new to the channel, you might not know, but Savage has been doing warehouse work for quite some time, almost 3 years straight. I very much enjoy it, and I've been a forklift driver for a while, so I feel like I'm pretty seasoned in the position. So anyway, they called me a little bit ago, guys. They want me to come and swing back through in the morning, so that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. I passed both the tests they had me take. I actually had to take a freaking math test. Guys, I haven't taken a math test since I was in high school. Not only that, I usually use a calculator when I'm doing anything mathematical. So I'm very shocked that I did as good as I did on that test. But we're about to celebrate, man. I got a decent sized doobie twisted up at this Sherb cream cake, and we're just going to get it, man. Let's see how quick we can smoke this stuff. Now, mind you, it is shake weed, guys, so it might burn a little bit faster than normal, but no matter, man. We're going to be right back to it in no time, and it's very, very nice to hear that news, man. Honestly, it's been very difficult for me to find a job in the last few weeks, guys. I was this close to going to fast food. I was this close. And guys, honestly, just for anyone out there wondering, like, the only reason I really don't want to work a fast food job is because of the economy. Like, it's not that I feel like I'm above doing that type of work, because I'm absolutely not. Nobody is. But the pay, I mean, if I'm going to work a full-time job, I got to at least be able to pay my bills and have some pocket money. I can't be working a full-time job and then when I get my paycheck, still not have enough to cover all of my, like, essential needs and stuff like that, guys, which is basically bills. You know what I'm saying? That's just very degrading. If you want to destroy your own spirit, that's one of the quickest ways. You know what I'm saying, guys? Not to even sound ungrateful or nothing like that, but that's really how I feel on it, man. And in my opinion, if you're going to be working and putting in the effort like that and grinding, you should be getting some kind of compensation out of that, man. Back in the day, you used to be able to get a house, a car, a family, all that good stuff pretty much attached to a nice job. If you're a man who worked a job like that and you were consistent and stayed at the same place for 30 years, you could retire, all that good stuff. It is not like that in this day and age, guys. If you work a full-time job, you might be able to afford half of those things, but you're definitely going to have somebody else going just as hard as you in the same household. That's kind of what it seems like it's turning into, guys, out here in America right now. It's kind of nuts. Sherb cream cake. Cheers, and I hope you guys are smoking on something tippity top shelf as well. Review should be returning in no time, Savages. Give me like a week and a half, 2 weeks. We should be rolling right back on regular schedule. It's just nice to know that I'm about to be back to work again, guys. I've been very, very antsy. I've been a full-time warehouse worker for a very long time now. So having this time off of work has given me a lot of time to think about things, evaluate things, and try and grow and learn things and just evolve as a person. I tell you what I've been doing most with my time lately is getting up out here and just getting these legs moving, man. Walking as much as humanly possible, especially now. And I'm glad that I actually had this extra time now that it's all said and done and I can look back on all of it, because it's about to start getting cold and I'm not going to be able to go on all these walks like I have been the last few months. Ooh, even a decent burn on this stuff, guys. A little bit peppery, but not terrible overall. Look at that. Flavor? Dang. For shake, man, it's kind of nuts. It tastes fruity. Coming off of that Sherb with a little bit of creaminess on the back end. I would say it tastes kind of reverse on how it smells. The smell is more like ICC forward. Sherb taking a little bit more of a back seat. Flavor? I would say the Sherb is like right up front and center, and the ICC is kind of taking a back seat. And it kind of sucks as well, man. Even right now, settling into early evening, like 6:45 out here in Canton, Ohio. Starting to get a little bit chilly. It was actually very chilly this morning, Savages. Woke up in the crib, felt like it was 45 freaking degrees. I was shivering like a leaf, guys. And in terms of the things that I have learned with all this extra time, one thing, guys, without getting too personal, is that for a very long time, it was very evident to me and people close around me that ever since I got sober from drugs and alcohol, I had really kind of replaced that with chasing money, chasing success. And honestly, I was chasing it in a very negative way. Like, I was chasing money, and it got to a point where I was making a decent amount of money every month as well. But I was blowing my money on just the stupidest things, guys. Even though I got off drugs and alcohol, I still had many attachments and addictions to things that I truly did not need. Not only that, things that were hurting me, like Monster energy drinks, Red Bull, snacks, fast food, all these things. I'm embarrassed and ashamed at this point to really admit at one point in time how much money I was spending on things like that, guys. It was absolutely retarded. Hundreds of dollars a week. Between all those things combined, that's without even adding cigarettes to the mix, Savages, which is absolutely terrible, especially in this day's economy. To afford a cigarette habit, I mean, you gotta have a little bit of extra money, right? Because I was spending like $12 a day on cigarettes alone. Then the Monster energy drinks, so that would bump it up to like $25-30 a day. Then you add in the snack food from the gas station, which sometimes when I was at work, Savages, I would go to the gas station on every single break I had. That's 2 to 3 times a day I was going to the gas station buying junk food, drinks, pop, energy drinks, cigarettes, lottery tickets. And if there's one thing that I learned during this like month and a half off of work, it's that I truly don't need all of that stuff, guys. It feels like you do when you're in the grind and you're hustling and you're making money and you're at work 5 to 6 days a week. All those things are kind of like band-aids to make you feel like that grind is actually worth it, especially in today's economy. It's insane, guys. Now, the way that I'm thinking in my mind right now, getting back to work, getting this new job, I'm really going to be trying to save as much money as I possibly can. Not only that, without even consciously realizing it, guys, over the course of the year, I probably went from having like 10 to 11 bills a month all the way to where I'm at now, where I have 2 to 3 bills a month. Right now, I only have 2. I've got an errands payment every month that I make, and that's almost paid off, and then I have my rent to pay every month. I got rid of my phone bill. I got rid of the loan payment that I had at one point in time. I was paying for somebody else's phone bill and doctor bills, all things like this, guys. Replaced that with medical insurance. Got rid of my phone bill. Now I just use my phone running off of Wi-Fi. And if you can't get a hold of me while I'm at the spot or somewhere with Wi-Fi, you just can't get a hold of me. And that's just the way that it is, guys. Which honestly cuts the time that I'm actually looking at my cell phone anyway, which is absolutely a great thing, especially if you guys have kids in your life, guys. The cell phone is addicting as a mother effer, man. If you guys are just, able to be honest, how many of us look at the phone 2-3 hours a day sometimes and neglect all the other responsibilities in your life just because of how easy it is to sit there and scroll. It's very easy, guys, almost like a drug, and that's no more apparent than when you look at children who are discovering cell phones for the first time. They get absolutely hooked. It's like crack cocaine. We're not even talking about ganja right now, savages. Halfway down on this doobie, though, and I'm starting to get a decent effect. I do believe this is indica flower. That's the way it makes me feel anyway. And it's going to be nice to be able to do these reviews again, but I think I'm even going to approach that in a slightly different manner, savages, because I was even spending $300 to $400 a week at one point in time on marijuana, just going to the dispensary a couple times a week, and yeah, some of that was attributed to that price increase, because there for a while it seemed to be incrementally going up and it was not stopping. Got to a certain point where it was it was just no way around it. It was, no sense made of spending that kind of money on a tenth of weed, guys, when me personally, you could either grow the stuff yourself or find somebody off the street, let's just be honest, guys, who sells it at a much more reasonable price, and sometimes you might find even better quality stuff. And in my opinion, savages, that's just the honest truth of the matter. So even though at first I was not too happy with the situation of losing that really good job, all the health problems that were starting to pop up out of nowhere, I can kind of sit here now and realize that God did those things to me for a good reason. He did them for me so that I would grow through certain mindsets and negative thought patterns that were plaguing me for way too long. Certain habits that I really wanted to let go of for the longest time, but just never seemed to be able to let it go. Cigarettes was a huge one, man. Like, cigarettes, to me, and this is going to sound absolutely crazy, cigarettes might have been a bigger beast to get off than alcohol was for the savage. And even though I wasn't like the biggest into alcohol, there was a point in time I was still drinking alcohol almost every single day after I got off of work, which was absolutely terrible and miserable, and my heart goes out to anybody who's actually dealing with anything like that right now, because I was there at one point in time, man, and I know what that beast feels like when you're wrestling with it in real time. Disregard me, savages. I feel like I'm catching a cold. This weather change every year always does this to me. My immune system usually has to build itself up and adapt to the new weather. Here in a couple weeks, we should be all strizzity straight, without the snizzity sniffles or the dry cough or any of that stuff, guys, or the watery eyes. I hate allergy season, man, and I get attacked with it sometimes, savages. Absolutely. For some shake weed, this is not too bad whatsoever. A little bit harsh on the throat, but it still has nice terp, decent flavor, man. It is not too bad whatsoever. If you didn't tell me it was shake, I probably wouldn't guess it. Maybe just by how fast it burns. It definitely does burn a little bit different than just some nug weed. Woo! Got some smoke in my eye. And my throat is absolutely feeling dry as crap right now. Wish I had some Savage water. But yeah, man. I'm excited to go back to work, Savages. It's going to be absolutely awesome to have some clutch sitting in front of me here very soon. It feels like absolutely forever since I've been able to toke on some of my favorite freaking weed. And Clutch's weed, by far, is like some of my favorite weed of all time. There ain't no doubt about it, especially in the last like month and a half where I've been smoking on different brands just because of financial situations and things like that. I've really come to even appreciate their stuff just that much more. Now, there is plenty of other stuff in the program that I like personally, but there's just something about Clutch's weed. I absolutely love it. All of it's fire. Some strains I like better than others, and gosh, man, as soon as they lower the price on those cards, it is over with, guys. I miss their cards so much. I've almost stopped hitting cards since I stopped buying them. I mean, I just can't bring myself to pay 60 bones for a CO2 full spec cannabis-derived terpene luster pod or cart. That's just a little bit too steep because they used to be $20 to $25 forever, guys. I'm talking for like a year and a half straight. That was the price point, which was absolutely awesome. I realize now how spoiled we actually were. I'm starting to get baked off this, guys. Oh yeah. I mean, Savage certified. I usually would never buy shake. I'm just put it like that. But first off, for a gift from my homie Tyler, thank you so much, brother. You really came through for me in a pinch. I needed it at that point in time, for show. And honestly, it's not too bad for shake, guys. Look at me. My eyes are starting to get low. I do need some water. I'm going to say that right off the bat. But not too bad, guys. Not too bad whatsoever. She's getting the job done. But anyway, guys, I'm starting to really ramble here. It is absolutely awesome that I'm going to be back to work soon. It feels like forever. It's only been like 5 weeks, but I've been going nuts a little bit, Savages, honestly. I've been on that track more than I even care to admit. For real, though. And I am feeling pretty good off that. I hope you guys are having an absolutely savage night. I hope you have a savage and blessed rest of your night. And I will see you guys in the next one, man. Peace. We're going to be back full force very soon.